When it comes to your property's value, there is one hack that you need to know that will turn hundreds of dollars of investment money into thousands of dollars of return. My name is Keith, and I have helped hundreds of sellers sell for more and buyers buy for less. I've helped flippers flip and buy and holders hold, and I have had property of my own, and I have learned that there are some significant realities about value in real estate that are largely misunderstood, and I'm gonna break them down for you today. So before you toggle away from this video, stick around to the end because I have a gift for you that you're gonna wanna see. Maybe you're considering doing some changes to your property to get some improvements going, but before you do, I wanna encourage you to stop because you are gonna wanna know about this. There are some serious truths about real estate that are misunderstood, especially around value. So there are actually two kinds of value. The first is concrete or absolute value. And value that is absolute is you do a thing and you get a thing. You make a change, you make more money, and it's pretty consistent across the board. A couple of those would be if you increase the size of your property, you're going to get more money because the square footage increases. Another is if you increase functionality on that property, you're gonna largely increase the value of that property because you just appealed to a group of people that you didn't have before. And that's even if you don't add square footage. That is gonna dramatically improve the property. And to be honest with you, that is probably one of the two ways that you can concretely add value to a property in an absolute fashion. Now, you may wholeheartedly disagree with that. Maybe you're like, Keith, absolutely not. I know people around here who are doing other things like big renovations and they're including massive value on their property because they're doing these huge projects. But I would challenge that thought and say they're probably already implementing what I'm about to teach you today. In fact, if they didn't do a good renovation, would they still make the money that you think that they're going to make? The answer is absolutely not. Why? Because of the other piece of value that is misunderstood across the board. But before we dive into that, let's back up a little bit and really kind of assess what we look at when we talk about changes to a property. And you notice that I say changes. I never said improvements. And when I say changes, I mean exactly that. Because when you change a property, that's really all you're doing. You're making an alteration. Now, you would hope that the change that you make would have an outcome that makes the property more appealing to a larger group of people. But there's no guarantee that that's gonna happen unless you've done your homework. So the other piece of the equation beyond absolute value is what we call desirability. Desirability is the massive driver and the hack behind increasing property value. The better you do, the faster it'll sell, the more money you'll make on your property. Now, understand, I'm not splitting hairs. I'm talking about definitive rules when it comes to value. You're not tremendously increasing value when you improve a kitchen or improve a bathroom. A toilet's a toilet. But at the end of the day, the desire behind using that bathroom or using that kitchen is what helps property sell faster and for more money. So how do you maximize that return? Here are 3 steps that you can follow to ensure that you're gonna get the most when you go to make an improvement to a property, changing it one way to another. The first is talk to a designer. Now, my wife happens to be a designer. She enjoys tremendously making homes look more beautiful, and she has an incredible eye. She informs me of what would be a good decision and maybe not such a good decision if we're going to spend money to make a change on a property. And she can also help guide us in making decisions around how much we want to spend, taking a little bit of money and maximizing a return on that money. If you're not willing to talk to a designer, then I would say at least note number 2, and that is understand what local and national trends are. If you understand what's happening across the country, you're gonna be in the know and be on point when you make changes to a property, making those things more desirable to a larger group of people. Now, when I first started in real estate, everything was beige. I remember walking into new homes and there would be beige walls, beige ceilings, and beige carpet. Everything was beige. But now everything is white. Designers are making white houses. Builders are making white houses. It's because it's cleaner, it's whiter, it's classic, it's brighter, it makes the space feel bigger, and it is desirable again. But it may not be in 3 years. And if I don't know what those trends are, then I am definitely gonna lag behind and I'm gonna waste money when I make my improvements or changes to a property. And number 3, and this is probably the most critical component, always know what's happening in the neighborhood that your property is in. Talk to a realtor or talk to an appraiser. Make sure you understand what the comparable sold data is because you'll see what improvements were or were not made and what the values were based on those. And if you understand that you have a high likelihood or at least an opportunity, and you understand that the reality exists where you can over improve your home, you will save money and get the maximum return. Now, what does over over-improving? Over-improving looks like taking improvements that are very inappropriate for a neighborhood. For example, taking a wolf range and putting it into a kitchen that is made generally for families or people who are first-time homeowners. You're probably not going to get a return on that. That would be an unwise decision. So make sure that you're not over-improving when it comes time to make improvements to the property. So talk to a designer, know your local and national trends, and never, ever, ever over-improve. Get ahead of that by talking to a realtor or an appraiser and know what comparable sold data is in the community that your house is in. And recognize that at the end of the day, there is concrete, absolute value, but desirability is the most important thing that you need to wrap your head around when it comes to making changes to your property. You will maximize the money that you put in when it's time to get it out. Now, I told you if you stuck around to the end of this video, I would have a gift for you. Do me a favor and go down to the description below and click the link. You're gonna find an instant home valuation tool. Plug in your address and I will be able to provide you with an instant assessment of your property's value. And if you have questions, reach out to me. I love that you have a baseline to know where your house begins when it comes to value. And if there's anything further that you want to know about your property's value, feel free to reach out. I'll get with you and take care of you right away. Thanks for sticking around. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, like, and leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Did I miss something or leave something out? Definitely let me know below in the comments. Till then, we'll see you all around the hill.